Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. This is our health call, and in particular, we're going to talk about the 11-day shred. So we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to go over the different products. We're going to talk about how they fit into the 11-day schedule, and then what do each of these products do. Now, if you don't have any of them, it's okay, but maybe take this time to decide, is that something I should invest in? Is that something that maybe that's where I'm missing? And know that everybody comes here for a reason. Everybody comes to Isogenics because they want something. So never be afraid to speak up, to ask, to say, I need a little bit extra help. Hey, I want more. I want to see more results, anything like that. There are so many ways to trick our bodies so that our bodies continue to give us the results that we're looking for. But just like muscle confusion, if we go to the gym and we're constantly doing the same exercise over and over and over and over and over again, we're not going to see different results. It's insanity, right? The definition of insanity. So we have to change it up, and especially with our foods. Now, if you change up the time, you change out the different types of foods, you change out different foods at different times. Those are all different ways to shock your body. And one thing I highly recommend is to write it down. If you want to keep a journal, IsoLife app has a free journaling system for you, and it will show you everything. You learn so much. When you physically write down the different foods that you're eating, every little bite, every little thing that you're putting into your mouth, and then you review it at the end of the day or at the end of the week, sometimes, and in my case especially, I was a little shocked. And I'm like, whoa, I had no idea that was 100 calories, or there's no nutritional value to that. It's just strictly calories. As we say, no nutrient food. You know, there's no nutrients in that. I'm just adding carbs or sugar or something like that into my body. And if we are in this for a weight loss, and if you guys don't mind, go ahead in the chat, state what are your goals. You can be very general, weight loss, muscle, whatever it may be, or be very specific. The more accountable you are to yourself and to other people, the more you'll reach your goals. Also, another little tip, and this isn't just to make our product pages bigger and more expansive. It really does work. The more you post, the more visible you are to other people, the more you help other people by posting and commenting and different things like that. Oh, sleep, that's an easy one. We can take care of that, Kay. And the more accountable you become to yourself, and the more you reach your goals. So just a little trick. So just something to keep in mind. All right, so I'm looking, I want to make sure I answer your guys' questions first and go over your goals, 20 more pounds. All right, so we're going to do the system. Right, Renee? It's just, and I'm going to pick on you guys if that's okay. We're just going to go right back to the system. If that's your goal, 10 to 20 pounds, 30 pounds, you've got to stay true to the system. We can't cheat when you have those type of goals. It's just, that's just all there is to it. Once you get to the point of maintenance, absolutely, you can bring some different things in, but you mentally want your goals. So you've got to do things to help yourself get there. Now, if you are like, I'm doing it 100%, and I still have more to lose, or I just haven't seen it change, that's when we need to make some phone calls and really observe. And what I like to do with people is have you write down every single thing you're eating. That's why if you use the IsoLife app, it's easier, but we go through it. And we'll look at everything in detail. I want to know how much protein you're bringing in, how much your goal weight is, how much do you weigh right now, what is your exercise level, how much water are you drinking, and all of those details matter. It's very scientific. But the biggest thing is confusing your foods, the time and day, and so on. So that's for weight loss purposes. Now, this is probably the biggest trick ever. And it is one that I forget, and I just don't bring it into play, but it works every single time. They're called Iso Snacks. If you guys don't know what those are, they're the little wafers, and they're like $21 per bottle, and you get 30 servings so 60 wafers in here. This is the one thing that I can tell you, every single person that we have helped lose a large amount of weight eats 4 to 10 of these a day. That's all there is to it. I have nothing else I can say about that. That's what they do. They have all found this to be one of the tricks. There's other things they do, but this melts fat. It takes away cravings. It satiates people for an hour. It's like a little mini compressed shake. And then you need to drink water afterwards because it is a little dry. So just make sure. So you get that water in there. So this is one huge trick to weight loss. Also water. Water is absolutely huge. And again, not something I'm always great at. So I appreciate being in the group and having people talk about drinking their water or a reminder, because it does make a difference. Whenever I see a post and someone talks about water, I get up and I go get a glass of water. Because I probably don't have one sitting next to me. That's my biggest downfall. And actually I have a 40 ounce next to me right now and it's still 40 ounce. So this is my other trick when it comes to water. And I haven't done it today. I got to get right back into my own program. So I do these calls for me too. When we talked about accountability, this is all part of my accountability. I'll tell you guys my ups, downs, and things like that, because hopefully my downs with the solution can be an up for somebody else. But the more we talk about these things, you know, the better we can do. And so when we talk about our situations out loud, hopefully we can fix them because we're acknowledging them. Right? It's not just a denial situation. We're acknowledging it. So I'm an open book. So what I found works super good for me is to get a 40 ounce bottle if possible, because the least amount of times I have to fill it up, the better. Okay. For me, getting up out of my chair to go fill up water is a hassle. So I want to fill up as least of these as possible. So in the morning, I fill it up. I drink 20 ounces. I drink half of it immediately at the sink. And then I take my bottle with me, I either refill it or I take my bottle and I go sit down and work. Then before lunch, take the bottle, drink half of it again, drink the rest of it over the next couple of hours. Same thing before dinner. So I don't necessarily do it to fill me up before my meals. I'm doing this that way so that I drink it. That's all I need. But some people like to drink it before their meals so they fill up. Whatever works for you. Some people love to put the bands around and they count, but it's imperative that we count how much water we're actually drinking. And you need to have half of your body weight in ounces every single day. I have found that's not enough for me. I need more. I have to do a gallon. And that's just all there is to it. So 4 of those gets me to about 120 ounces, which is perfect for me. So find your situation and you'll know, are you energetic? Are you feeling good? Are you awake? Are you peeing a lot, but not too much? When you first start drinking water, you'll pee a ton, but then after your body gets used to it, you don't pee quite as much and it needs to be clear. So those are kind of some of the signs. Also, it helps to remove a lot of toxins and inflammation. So if your body's feeling good, and so on. And then it also glows. I noticed that I haven't been drinking as much water. My face isn't glowing as much as it usually does. So those are all signs. Sleep. I do want to talk about sleep. All right. So we have about 4 different things that help with sleep. Let's start with what comes in the pack, because these are all a part of the 30-day system. But the flush is magnesium. Magnesium helps our body to calm down. It actually helps the organs to settle down, to rest, to allow your body to rest and go to sleep. So we do need 2 of these, both for the weight loss as well as sleep. If you need more, if you're finding that you have some constipation or anything like that, you can up these one at a time. I know we've been talking about it a little bit with a few people here and there. Go slow on that. If that's something that you want to talk about, just obviously, have Kimberly and I talk to you about it. But that is important. But 2 on a regular basis, just to help your body to stay in progress, can make a big difference, both with weight loss and sleep. Next is ionics, and we all love our ionics, right? I mean, there's just, what would we do if we didn't have this in our lives? I really have no idea how we would function. But get to know ionics, because there's so many things about ionics that can really change lives drastically. And this is the go-to for so many things. If you have this, or this, ionics. So real general about ionics. Again, you want to have it as part of your 11-day shred, weight loss, as well as sleep and energy were both mentioned. So with Ionics, 1 scoop, and it can be warm, hot, cold water. You can blend it, stir it, drink it as a shot, however it works for you. It tastes a little bit like cinnamon apple. Not everybody likes the taste. This is one I absolutely love. I never had a problem with the taste, but if you do have does anyone have a problem with the taste? Let's just ask that question. Because if you do have a problem with the taste, it's really just one of those you have to get over. Just kind of like the Ice Snacks, right? Not everyone likes what these are. They're little dry wafers. You just have to know what they do and just try to get over it. These are probably the only 2 in our line that I feel that way about, but they're so important. So energy, have 1 in the morning, have a dose in the morning. If you find that you have a lot of cravings happening, or if you're working through some addictions with soda, smoking, drinking, or anything like that, this is your go-to. If you've got a little imbalance happening, especially right now. All right, thank you, Kay, for admitting that. Especially if you have a little imbalance with what's happening in our world right now, you can do 4 doses a day. It's like every 2 hours, have a dose. Or if you feel yourself kind of coming down a little bit, have another serving. Or get the refrigerator liquid bottle, keep it in the refrigerator. Every time you open the refrigerator, take a nice big drink. That's going to help with cravings. It will wake up your brain. It wakes up your body. It gets every endorphins moving. It gives you those adaptogens to make you feel better, give you that energy, and just make your body alive. If you have any physical or mental stress, it helps that within just a minute to 2 minutes. It doesn't take long for these things to kick in, which is the best thing about it. And Kay, that absolutely works. Kay, what you might want to try is the liquid bottle, because it comes in the form of liquid. Put it in a little shot glass and just shoot it. That might be one of the better ways. And then you have to keep it cold, you have to keep it in the refrigerator once it's open. So maybe having it cold and then just drinking it that way. I do love it warm, hot, cold. And warm is just like a tea. So if you like warm drinks, and then you can just sip on this. It's not one that you have to drink super fast. You can just sip on it and feel good. Now, if you're having trouble sleeping, and if your mind, oh good, awesome. If your mind is constantly going, and that's where you're having difficulty sleeping, I would definitely try some Ionics. Ionics is not just one thing, it adapts. Think of it as an x-ray from head to toe. Wherever your body needs, the adaptogens, Chinese herbs, are gonna focus on fixing that problem. So if it's nighttime, the lights are off, you're ready to go to bed, your brain, you just need to tell your brain, settle down so I can go to sleep. Drink some Ionics, no lights, no sound. Just lay back in your bed and drink that. That you might want to do as a tea, or again, just a shot, whatever works. But if it's morning and the lights are on and music's on or anything like that, you're telling the brain to wake up. So that's how it works both different ways. Now, if that's not enough, and I have some people who do all 4 of our things to help with sleep. The sleep support renewal, this stuff is the most amazing. Who just loves this? It's $12.95, and it's like the best thing ever. We order this, we have a few of these, as every single person in our house loves this. My kids get 1 spray, Brad and I have 3. Spray it directly on your tongue, let it sit there for a second, and then swallow it. Don't spray it on your pillow or your face. You want to spray it directly on your tongue. And I say that because we've heard and seen it all. Yes, absolutely. I've had people go, it just doesn't work. I spray it on my face and I never fall asleep. It's gotta be on the top. So when you use that it's melatonin, chamomile, and lavender. So it's kind of doing everything. It's putting us to sleep. It's slowing everything down. It's relaxing the body, the organs, the mind, and everything. It's just really, really one of those most incredible products. I do highly recommend this one. And then if you need something else, and I kind of go in this order with our customers. So we find out, first I want to work with what you already have. Then if you have to order more things, then we kind of go that direction and we just continue whatever you need. So just kind of see, does this work for me? Do I need more, or so on? The next thing and the final thing really is the belly buster. The Bedtime Belly Buster, whether it's the Tri-Release or the Isopro or the dairy-free Isopro now, helps the body to, again, relax because you're feeding the body. You're giving the body and your muscles more protein, so it's not hungry. It's not looking for food. It's not trying to tell you I'm hungry. So those are the 4 different things that help with sleep. All right, so let's go back to, absolutely, let's go back to weight loss. All right, so shakes. And whether you like dairy-free or our whey, and by the way, we're going to have all brand new shakes coming out next week, right? So we've got all kinds of new dairy-free coming out, and I believe there is a new whey coming out as well, so be prepared for that. But it doesn't matter. This is all just a preference. I will tell you that majority of people that have an intolerance to milk do fine with the whey. If you have an allergy to dairy or milk, then you should only do dairy-free. Don't even question that. But if it's an intolerance, a lot of times what happens is the hormones or the different things that people put in milk or the dairy products are what might not be suiting you so well. This is about 4 to 7% dairy. It's very little dairy. It's the whey at the top, and it's pure ingredients, as we know, the undenatured whey. But 1 shake a day is maintenance. 2 shakes a day is weight loss. It's just not something we can fight. That is all there is to it. So if you kind of have found yourself backing off a little bit from 2 shakes a day and you're not losing weight, you have to get back on to 2 shakes a day. That's where the magic is, and you can't fight it. I've been here 7.5 years and I've tried to fight it. You can't. It just is what it is. And you want to use the shakes as meal replacements. Now, if you have a lot of weight to lose and you can afford extra protein, have extra shakes. There's a calculation. We won't have time for that today, but I can certainly help you at any time. There's a certain amount of protein that everyone needs to have in order for our bodies to move correctly. Okay, I'll just tell you. It's 50% of your goal weight if you're sedentary, 75% of your goal weight if you're extremely active. So if people are at the gym 4 or 5 times, or they run 4 or 5 times a week or something like that, I usually put them in about 65 to maybe 70%. So use the calculations accordingly, and you want to have that many grams of protein per day. So if you have a lot of protein in grams that you need to meet, have more shakes. This is the best way to get protein. And I would recommend getting the different types of shakes because, again, we want to mix up our foods. We want to mix up the amount. We want to mix up the vitamins and minerals. We have Isopro, has 18 grams. The dairy-free has 22. The Isoline, 24. And the Isoline Pro has 36. The most we can ever handle at one point is 36 grams of protein. If you're getting more grams of protein at one time, you're just bringing in more protein. It's not really doing you any good. So you don't have to worry about spending that extra money or trying to eat all this protein. Now you can do that a few times a day. And we recommend, as long as you're getting the right amount of protein every day and vegetables, we don't have time for a whole lot of other things. So you won't find yourself snacking on things that you shouldn't be doing if you're having the correct amount of calculations. I do recommend switching back and forth. Have an Isoline and an Isoline Pro, or a dairy-free and an Isoline Pro. But switch off and on. Have that confusion with your body. You want to shock your body as much as possible, is that the body knows what to expect. At the same time of the day, the body's not going to work hard to find it because it's just automatically coming in. But if you change up the time and you change up the food, your body's going to be searching for the habits of what's been coming to it all the time and regular. And then when you give it something new that it wasn't expecting, it's got to work too. So then you're really changing things up and you're making your body work really super hard both times. Great, I'm so glad you guys are all coming in. All right, so vitamins. I want to focus on the pillars. So the vitamins, these are key. And I will tell you that because of what's happening right now, with our new customers, I don't really have to talk about these very much. They want them because everybody knows that they need to have a really good immune system right now. Everybody knows that, all right, if I'm going to be around people, I need to protect myself as much as possible. This is going to be your best protector above and beyond anything else. Everything else we have will help you before, during, and after. This is longevity. That's going to make a huge difference. But I also want to share that we have so many people who have seen a difference within a couple weeks. I know most of you have been doing isogenics for a while, so it's kind of hard to tell when things happen. But can anyone tell, physically, mentally tell when you have your vitamins or when you don't have your vitamins? I can. I know every single day if I had my vitamins or if I didn't have my vitamins. I didn't have them today, which has been rare for me because I've been really on top of this. But I didn't today, long holiday weekend, off a little bit, and I'm a little groggier. I just haven't been quite as on it, where when I take these 2 times a day, I am on it. So what people will feel, and it could take anywhere from a week to 2 weeks. It doesn't take long for our vitamins to kick in. And I've had people compare them to other brands of really good vitamins. There's a huge difference. But discomfort, neck, shoulders, back, knees, anything like that takes a couple weeks for it to kick in. The mental fog, being awake, being alert, the whites in our eyes, our skin, hair, nails, they grow and they grow really nicely. Your skin will look completely different. But it also helps with weight loss. And I've had quite a few people tell me that they're like, it's the vitamins. I am toned. I look great. I feel amazing. I owe it all to the vitamins. So kick in the vitamins if you haven't yet and you really want to see some changes. Now, what we've also have done is add the isogenesis. Thank you so much, Alice. Isogenesis are amazing. So these are a part of the vitamins, but you can have extras of these. You don't want to have extras of the vitamins. You want what they give you in the AM, PM. But extra isogenesis are just going to give you that much more. So I do extra, one, because of our health situation and keeping me in my own little bubble. Plus, I know I'm not drinking as much water, so it makes me drink more water, but it also helps the skin to glow. Brain focus is huge. Sleep, happiness. Okay, I'm kind of getting to an age where I might have a few little grouchy days that my family will tell you about. This keeps me a lot happier. So nope, they're pills, they're soft gels. And this is a great investment to make if you want to keep your family happier with you, if you're close to going through any stages. I highly recommend that. All right, let's get back to the day. So morning should be ionics. You always want to do the ionics first thing in the morning. That you want to have on an empty bloodstream. Actually, what I've started to do, oh, I should have brought it, is I've started the moringa. And I've started putting the moringa in my body first thing in the morning. It tastes really good. And it's like a cucumber mint, but different than the greens. But oh my gosh, this is just like the overall super dense nutrition. But it needs to be in cold water and 15 minutes before your heaviest meal. So I do it in the morning. The cleanse schedule that the company offers suggests in the afternoon. But we always have to do what works for us. So you find the thing. And I always tell people with our program, if you get off track and you don't do it quite right, as long as you get the products in, that is all that matters. All right, guys, I always try to get this done in 30 minutes and it doesn't. It is 30 minutes. It's right at that half mark. If you need to go, please, thank you so much for coming. If you're good staying on, I probably have a good more 9 minutes. So again, thank you for coming. But start the morning with the ionics. Empty bloodstream, everything is clean. You just woke up, everything is great. So you want to do it first thing in the morning. Then immediately have your shake. You want to give your body that protein within 2 hours of waking up. Super important. And drink it. You can guzzle it, drink it, don't sip. Or it won't taste good and you'll lose the enzymes. So you want to drink that shake down. It doesn't matter, how you make it, if it's water with ice, no ice. The biggest key with your shakes is to not add the extra sugar. right? If we're trying to get rid of sugar and rid of what we've put into our bodies already, we can't keep adding. I don't care if it's natural. It's got, you just can't have that extra sugar. Don't worry about our program. Our program is completely designed to have the right amounts of everything. They're meals. So it does have carbs. It does have sugar. It has the right amount with the right types. And you don't have to switch it up. You want to switch up your foods on the outside. So like my morning snack is always going to be different. My afternoon snack will always be different. My meals are different. That's where I switch up my food and the times. All right, so next, back to the accelerator. I know some people go on and off accelerator, but it's apple cider vinegar, cayenne pepper. This is really, and cinnamon. This is what revs our body up. And it gives us that increase in our metabolism so that our body can burn more fat. So please don't take this out of your system. If you can, yeah, this one is a soft gel as well. The only pill we have, like a hard pill, would be the vitamin C. Otherwise, for the most part, they're all soft gels. They do actually dissolve in water. If you ever want to test them, you know how they usually have you put it in vinegar. Ours dissolve in water. So you know they're going into your bloodstream really fast. But the accelerator, try to have one in the morning, one in the afternoon. If you have trouble with getting it in the afternoon, have 2 in the morning. That is what I do. It's not best, but at least you're getting the right amount. You don't want to go too late on these because they do rev up your metabolism. So I would suggest not too much after 3 or 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Then you want to have a mid-morning snack. And here's a bunch of different ideas for mid-morning snacks. Again, protein, vegetable, whatever works for you, combination of both. The slim cakes are super good. They're more fiber than protein. And PB bites. And the way when you look at it, is it a fat, is it a protein, is it fiber? You want to look at what does it have more of? So I think, Kimberly and I were going over a few different foods, and I forgot in particular which one we were looking at, but like, let's look at how much nuts. I think we were looking at nuts, some certain nuts. And like, well, how much protein is in there? And then how much fat is in there? Well, it's a lot more fat. So you got to consider it a fat. And it's really easy to get good fats into our bodies. And so if you're wanting weight loss, if you're wanting to really kick that down and see those numbers move, take a look and see how much good fat are you putting into your body. It makes a difference. We really have to cut that off and add more protein and vegetables. I'm one that goes more towards the good fats, you know, cheese, nuts, avocados, granola, different things like that. You think it's healthy and you think it's good, but when you weigh it out and you look at the numbers, might be a little too much fat. You might need to have a little bit more protein. So peanut butter bites, great snack. And almost all of these are great on your cleanse days. So of course we have our whey chips, we have the Isa Delights, E-shots, Via, and this isn't the right oil, but the content oil is a great oil to add, especially on your cleanse days. It takes away hunger. So if you're finding yourself always hungry and you don't know how to satiate yourself with any of these suggestions, maybe try a little of the content oil, and you can drink it or put it on your skin. Really makes a difference. I use a lot of lemon. This stays at my desk. I have it in the office or in the bedroom. I have it in the kitchen. I add it to everything. I add it to the Bia, water. I just drink it. It helps with bacteria. So what do we want to get rid of right now? Unhealthy bacteria, right? So constantly adding the lemon to my system. All right, again, weight loss. So let's talk about cleanse. And I just do 1 to 2 drops, Renee. The content, same thing. You know, whatever you need. If it's a cleanse day and you need a few more, you can't overdose on it. It's not something you need to worry about. They're essential oils. It's a lot of grapefruit. So whatever you need. And more or less with most of our stuff, with a few exceptions, do what you need. Right? If you're taking more of something just to get through it, whether it's a cleanse day or just a regular day or anything like that, and you need 4 e-shots or 4 doses of ionics or 4, 5, 6 isodelites, you know, If it's one of those days, go ahead and do that. Just don't make it a habit. That's the key, right? Know what you need and then know what you should do. But if it happens, it's not that big of a deal. It's not the end of the world. It's one day. It's just one day. And this is what helps me to get rid of any of the guilt. If I ever have, I haven't had guilt with food for a very long time because I know about cleanse. Who uses cleanse to get rid of any type of guilt and toxins and extra foods and sugars and things? Especially when you've been doing isogenics for a while and this is your lifestyle, you will bring in some of those other drinks and foods every once in a while. It's okay. It's a lifestyle. But the key is to get rid of it. Don't let it just hang out in your body anymore because we don't need to. We have the secret. So I try to do 2 scoops of cleanse every single day. And it doesn't matter what time of the day. You can do it in the morning, afternoon snack, before bed. It's really up to you. The key is getting it into your system. Now it's better on your system if you do it before bed because then you just let the cleanse work, right? It doesn't have to compete with the things you've got going on or the other foods that you're bringing into your system. It can just work at a cellular level and detox the liver and the kidneys. But if you're having trouble remembering that and you're like, oh, I should cleanse, you're not actually taking a cleanse day. You're just giving your body more of these nutrients and vitamins and removing some of the toxins and some of the inflammation. Now, just always remember there's a good, better, best situation, mild, medium, or extreme. I don't like extreme. Let's go deep. Mild is just having 1 to 2 scoops of this throughout the day and just bringing it into your system. So mild, I consider 1 scoop. You're just getting the nutrients. That's the whole purpose of it. 2 scoops, especially before bed, you're doing a little bit more of a mild cleanse. Now, if you don't want to do a full cleanse day, because there's some days, again, when you've been doing this for a while, you don't always want to do a full 24 hours or a full 48, but maybe you want to just kind of kick it in a little bit more. And, you want to do like a 12-hour or an 18-hour or something like that. Go ahead. Go ahead. The key is you have to remember to always have at least 1 week of break. Right? You can do cleanse all the time. It can be a regular staple in your diet. And especially those that have a lot of inflammation, you want to keep this in your diet. This is what removes that inflammation and those toxins and helps to get rid of them out of your body. So go ahead and have a lot of this, but you have to take a break. You have to take 1 week of a break off so that your organs can rest, because this is constantly functioning, detoxing your liver and your kidneys. So you've got to give it that break. All right, use in moderation in that regards. Just keep that in mind. I know some people like to cleanse all the time because they feel so good and they get rid of that inflammation. So your 2 scoops per night or in the morning, you can do that all the time. That's okay. But if you're going deep, you got to take that break. Does anyone have any questions for that? Because I know that could have been a little complicated. Okay, bars. Bars are great. Bars are fantastic. But if you have a choice of a shake or a bar, a shake's going to be much better for weight loss. Just always know that. Also has more grams of protein, less grams of sugar. So these are a great replacement when you can't do a shake. However, you can have fun with these bars. I am a muncher, especially when I get stressed out or if I'm going to be on the computer all the time. I like to have little things to munch on. So I cut them up into little pieces, and that's my munching. All right, versus chips or some other thing that I shouldn't be putting into my system. Or if I'm driving for long distances or I'm on an airplane or something like that, little pieces of this make a big difference for those of us that like to munch. And we have dairy-free, and we're coming out with new moringa. So excited about that. All right, the greens. All right, who loves our greens? Who does not love our greens? I do love the greens. And I will tell you, if you're used to the old greens and you're still not quite used to the new greens, don't worry, you will be. You just got to stay consistent and keep it going. The taste is different. It looks different. They're more of a true greens. They do, this and the moringa taste very much about the same in my opinion. And I'll need to ask Dr. Plant if you can actually add. Kimberly, do you know, can you add the greens to the moringa? I'm wondering, I'm kind of curious about that now. As they're very similar tasting. But these greens are amazing. The more alkaline your body, the more your body functions and does better. And that's what these do. They alkaline your body. It's 3 to 5 servings of the dark, deep leafy greens. So you want to get as much of these in here. The maker of the old greens, Dr. Tony would go through a canister every 2 days, just to give you an idea how many greens he used. And he would tell you what all his body experienced because of how many greens he would eat. And I got to tell you, he's an older gentleman that lives the life of a 20-year-old. He was on fire. He's on excited. His skin was perfect. I mean, everything was about it because he's just loading his body up with greens. So again, if you want to lose weight, you want to get more alkaline, you want to feel better, have more energy, get your body to function more, keep the greens in your system. They are best on their own, just like the ionics. But if you need to, put them with a shake. But if you can drink them by themselves, ice water and the lemon oil are a fantastic combination. I mean, this is so good when you add that lemon or a squeeze of a little lemon juice or something in there. So good. I like to have it as my afternoon snack. We need protein and vegetables. Here you go. Here's 3 to 5 servings of vegetables. We get full, we get satiated, we feel good. It just helps everything to keep going. This, when I'm on top of all of these things, this is when the weight just drops, right? You gotta have a lot of these extras to have it drop fast. We average 10 to 20 pounds by using the basic system. But if you need to change it up, you need to do some different things, you want it to happen a little bit faster, these are some of the extra tips to make that happen faster. All right, I think that's about all I had. Bia, who hasn't fallen in love with Bia yet? This is an everyday staple for many of our homes. It's full of vitamins and minerals. It has the adaptogens in it, so it takes away cravings. It helps us to stay satiated. So you can use this as a snack, right? It's not a meal replacement in that regards, but you can certainly use it as a snack. And then if you want to make sure your immune system is really up to speed, I would recommend the Immune. Oh, and I didn't bring out the other little spray. It's temporary unavailable. But our little spray is an immune spray with zinc. It also has collagen in it. So yeah, I know our vegans can't do it, but collagen is one of the things that the naturopath recommended for Tyler when he was going through all of his gluten issues. She wanted him to have collagen. That was like one of the most important things. Although she wanted to sell him a $90 bottle that he would go through every month. I'm like, oh, I have a $21 bottle that has some collagen in it. We're just going to go for that. And he did great. All right, guys, those are the items that I had out, other than a couple amped, just to share these with you, because you can do some of these on cleanse days as well. I love to show you what you can do all the time. But repair, is Diana still on? Nope, Diana left. Diana uses repair every single day. She said this has really helped with her aches. Really made a difference. I've been using it for my plantar fasciitis. Makes a huge difference if you have any soreness or discomfort. Just adding a little repair to your system every single day. And then who doesn't love like amped hydrate popsicles right now in the heat, right? Get our electrolytes, our vitamin C, and have it taste super yummy. All right, let's open it up. What type of questions do you guys have? I tried to answer all of the ones that came in on the chat. Anyone have any other questions? Did you guys get everything you need? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the recording. All right,